In this slide, let's try to understand data plane, control plane, and management plane using a diagram. This example will make everything clear. Look at the diagram. On the left side, we have PC1, and on the right side, we have PC2. Between them, we have a switch and three routers R1, R2, and R3. Now, just an imagination. PC1 wants to send data to PC2. So let's start with the data plane here, which is shown in red color. When PC1 sends a packet to PC2, the packet actually travels through switch, then router 1, then router 2, and then router 3. Finally, it is reaching the switch, okay, and PC2. Okay, this actual movement of packet is called the data plane. Data plane does only one job: receive packet and forward packet. Okay, it won't work on that route part, MAC address part. It just looks an existing table and forwards traffic at high speed. Okay, always data plane equal to real traffic flow. Second is the control plane, which is in the green lines here. Okay, now the question comes: how does router 1 know where PC2 network is, and how does router 2 know where to forward the traffic? Then how does the switch know which port PC1 is connected to? This is where the control plane comes in. Now look at the green lines. The switch learns MAC address and build a MAC table. Router runs routing protocols and build a routing table. All this learning, decision making, and table building happens on the control plane. So control plane decides which next router to use, which interface to forward the traffic, which MAC belongs to which port. Then it programs the data plane. Okay, so control plane designs the path, data plane forwards the packet, because someone has to tell use this path to reach the destination, right? That is done by the control plane, and data plane is just forwarding the traffic. The control plane is giving instruction, data plane is just following the instruction which is coming from the control plane. Then in this example, the yellow lines are the management plane. Whenever we log into the switch or router using command line, that is using putty session, or if you're executing some telnet command, or if you are using REST APIs, we are using the management plane. For example, if it is a new router, okay, if you want to get that router on the network, we need to configure the IP address, right? And to participate that router in the network, we need to configure some routing protocols like BGP, OSPF, like that, right? After that, what the router is going to do? It is going to gather the routing table, okay, and then for checking the routing table, we need some access, right? And to monitor this device health, we need some access. So all these tasks are like done through the management plane. Management plane does not forward traffic and does not work on the configuration part. It is only for administration and monitoring. Now we have all three. Now we saw how all three work together, right? We can configure the router using management plane. Routing protocol runs on the control plane and calculates the path. Actual user traffic flows through data plane. So in traditional physical networks, all three planes exist inside the same device. That's what we need to understand here. That is very important, because I'm going to, when I explain the software-defined network networking, that's time, you need to understand the difference. So here the key point to note here is, in traditional physical network, data plane, control plane, management plane, all three planes exist on the same physical device. So each and every network device in physical, it is having its own management, control, and data plane. Okay. Because later when we talk about software defined and NSX, we can see how these planes are separated and centralized. This understanding will help you when you learn the NSX architecture. Okay, that is the reason I'm stressing this options again and again. Now let's try to understand about this MAC address table, ARP table, routing table. Okay, we want to know like who is going to manage which table. Okay, let's try to understand the basic networking understanding on those tables.
So this session will get disconnected. So please reconnect the Zoom session again. We'll continue from there.